So there are several interactions we wanted to show off within the Onyx, and we did it by building a scenario around it. We were able to tailor different parts of the scenario to different interactions we wanted to show. Some of the things that you can do with ClearPad that you can't do with existing clear sensing technology are distinguish between a finger and a palm, multiple finger gestures. There's the whole under plastic kinds of things that you can do. So we wanted to show off a couple different interactions that drag and drop is actually much easier on a clear capacitive screen than it is on a resistive screen. And we wanted to show these things off in Onyx, but also have a good story to go along with it. So Jack's done. It's a Friday night. He's invited some friends over for a dinner party. And one of them calls and says, Jack, I didn't have a chance to drop by and pick up the curry paste for tonight's dinner. It's like, oh crap, what are we going to do? And so the scenario that we run you through is basically Jack getting ready for the dinner, solving the issue of the curry paste. And then one of the goals is that then we have him kind of setting up the tunes for the evening as well. And so what you see here is a collapsing menu bar. If you think about most phones, you have to go to this top of the hierarchy tree in order to actually figure out what you want to do. This allows you to have access to all the applications at any given time. And one thing that you'll see is although we have an application-centric view here, the phone is built around, the whole UI is built around activities. And the activity that we're going to support is Jack planning this evening. And so to start this off, we'll go to the phone, pop up, and this could be activated either by tapping and tapping, or eventually it will be a gesture drag so that you actually make it easier for, you kind of keep accidental activation from happening. So you can imagine someone dragging over and then dragging their finger into the phone in order to activate the phone application. We're going to jump in here. And Jenny's going to call. So there's Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Kind of the typical thing you have today.
We've met Jenny before.
You've met Jenny before. So there's two ways to answer it. There's the traditional click on the green button, or you can actually hold the phone to your face. And this is one of the advantages of capacitive technology, because not only are we able to distinguish between your cheek and your finger, but we can also blend some proximity sensing of capacitive sensors to kind of distinguish whether you're close to your cheek or actually touching your cheek. So this actually works on the phone, you'll see in a bit. And so in this context, we'll simulate a cheek check. And so successfully, you've got a face plant. And Jenny's talking. She's telling you, I don't have the curry paste. But here, let me send you the location flag of where the store is. So this is a GPS-enabled device. So now we're in a phone call. We've just received a location flag from Jenny. Traditional mobile phone UIs would say, okay, then we're going to shut down the phone application and then move you to a totally different screen to do the GPS thing. We're like, forget that. You now have two applications open at the same time. You know you're on the phone with Jenny still, and now you know the location in downtown Manhattan of Shinto Bob's Asian Superstore. And so, well, okay, we know where Jenny wants us to go, but where are our friends? Well, since they all have this phone too, you go back to the menu, go to the calendar, and bring up the calendar. Automatically we squeeze down. Now you've got three applications open, all supporting the activity of figuring out how to get curry paste.
So it becomes a social networking device.
Becomes a social networking device. And you go to today's date, and you say, okay, August 30th, okay, we've got dinner, okay. Now, if you look at this effect, the names are grayed out. There's a kind of a couponing effect around dinner at home. This is to show that this is a draggable and droppable element within the UI. So we drag this over into the GPS application. Automatically assumes, okay, I'm done with the Evite, let's close that down. And Maurice and Winston, the other two people coming, show up on your map. So you can tap on them, okay, Maurice is bringing cookies and snacks, and Winston's bringing wine and cheese. It looks like Winston's closest. Now, if you wanted to call Winston with the current phone UI, you'd have to, okay, now shift to your phone book application, drill down, find Winston, using multi-tap to find Winston, then bring him back up and call him, and it's insane. Here, you drag Winston from the map into the phone application. Now you're calling Winston. Winston answers the phone. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Hey, Jenny didn't get curry paste. You're close to Shinto Bob's. Can you get it? Sure. Hey, is Jenny on the line still? Yeah. Now we join them for a conference. This would take about 10 to 12 keystrokes on a current phone. Again.
And there's a risk of hanging up on people.
At drop calls all the time.
I drop calls.
Everybody. Sorry, Mom. Oh, I was going to ask you on a date. I guess that's not going to work. You know, not my mom on a date, but That's an image. So then this is easy. You just drag Winston over Jenny, and now they're joining a conference call. So you've gone to one intuitive motion instead of 10 avenues for destruction or disaster.
And this is all interactive with your fingers.
This is with your fingers.
Stylus.
No stylus, no buttons. It's all with your finger. Okay, so we're done with Jenny. Bye, Jenny. Then Winston says, hey, can you send me that location flag for the GPS? Now if you look, same kind of coupon effect. It says I can actually drag this and send it to Winston. So now Winston has a location of Shinto Bob's, and he can use his own phone to figure out how to get there and get the curry paste. And so, let's say goodbye to Winston. The entire scenario, we went through 3 different applications at one time. But it was all seamless, intuitive, and it made sense to people. You addressed some of the issues around conference calling and the challenges you have with drilling down in hierarchy menus. We try to make this a very flat interface in comparison to current phone UIs, so that you could immediately get to what you needed to do what you wanted, and then move information between applications to create a seamless experience around an activity instead of an application. So the next thing we'll show here is the music application.
Everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite. And so, in contrast to current kind of popular shipping media players, this allows you to make your own custom playlist in real time without using the on-the-go kinds of things, because of the rich interaction you get with a touchscreen on top of the display. So you go over here, you're moving back and forth. Okay, we'll go with some gorillas here. Drag that over here, drag that over here. Now, one of the areas where we were experimenting with 2-finger gestures is setting up the scroll bar. It's not working yet in the prototype, but that's one of the things we know we can do. It's feasible, we just haven't implemented yet. So that the way that you would scroll here is that you put your finger on it, then put another finger down, and that would allow you to toggle the scrolling feature until you found what you wanted.
That's already possible in the current MacBook Pro device, the Mac device.
Oh, the two
yes, fingers.
Yeah,
so
and we've had
definitely we know it's possible.
You know it's possible, entirely possible. What's different here is that we're using it as a locking gesture. So there, they put 2 fingers down, they move their fingers up or down. We're actually using the second finger as a locking gesture for this button.
Okay.
So you move these things over. Then you can actually, let's say if you wanted to have more screen to see what your entire playlist is, drag that over and then start to play. Now, volume, of course, you want to be able to adjust the volume. That becomes a finger on top of the UI to absolutely control the volume. And Jack's got this cool pad up in the city. He's trying to figure out what to do. So he can preview tunes on his phone, but let's say he wants to send them to the stereo. So this also blends a bit of home automation. Part of this being the phone for fun is that it becomes kind of like your universal remote control for your life. And as you're aware of different things, you can use this to control or access information around. So that's pretty much it. That's Jack.